Dude, stop talking. Emma time! Give it to me. How's it going, everybody? And how's it going, everybody who's new? Now, we just got a bunch of cool stuff that just came in. If you're watching this on Saturday, these literally just showed up today, especially the seat. We got a present over there from Candace from the Horsepower Rodeos team. Super excited to see what's in that. We get these footwells done so that they go underneath here. They look really good. I love the way they came out. And we got a bunch of cool announcements at the end of the video, so stay tuned. We got 90 days until this thing needs to be running and ripping against Matt's son, Rudy. In the off-road games. Now, we gotta add foot pegs to this thing because instead of me sitting right back here like a normal quad in a tuna can, I'm actually gonna need to be a little bit more forward with my legs so it's a little bit more comfortable. So that being said, we gotta move the controls, add floorboards, and basically remove everything else. We're waiting for the seat to get in here, but once the seat's here, we can get the air filter done and the exhaust moved around where it needs to be. That should be here in the middle of the video, which is next week, but we're gonna get started on that, and then we can get started on everything else. This is what I mean. We're basically just gonna be moving this all the way forward and adding a nice little brake pedal on the end with a floorboard that goes from here to here so that it basically moves my feet all the way forward. First things first, we gotta get the measurements up. Looks like about 26 inches with a bend at about 13 inches. 26 and 13, so divided by 2. So now that we got our piece all shiny, we're gonna go in there, measure out where I think it needs to curve off, then we'll take it to the bender. Hopefully it all works out. 2 feet with a curve at 10. All right, so now that that's all cleaned up, cut out, we're gonna just grab our pipe bender over here, start getting her bent. Now that we got this piece all bent out, we're just gonna put it inside of here. We're just gonna mount it up to where we need to be. I wanna make it unboltable to the frame like the foot peg mounts, just so that everything can be replaced, just in case something bends. I'm gonna use this extra little lip to mount up the piece of tubing, and then on the front of this piece right here, there's a little nut mount right there that I'm gonna mount the front piece to, and then we're just gonna find another place to mount another piece so that it just keeps it nice and strong. So I just need to build a little bracket that comes off to here so I can weld this piece onto there without welding it onto the foot pegs. So we need to make a bracket that holds onto this and also mounts the foot pegs. So the thing that we get to do now is we get to do some CAD, cardboard aided design. All we gotta do is just find our little angle tracer, take it over to the quad, trace everything out, trace it on a piece of cardboard, cut it out of metal, and then weld it up. So now that we've done the painstaking part of getting everything bent out and cut out, now we get to do the even more painstaking part, getting it mocked up and perfect so that when you weld it in there, everything's all good. All right, let's get this bad boy in there. Send her home. Make sure it's straight. So now that this piece is all welded up, all we're gonna do is just grab a piece of cardboard, lay it out flat, trace out what we need to, and then make it out of metal. Now that the piece of cardboard's all done, we're gonna make it out of metal. This piece is basically all drawn up. All I need to do now is just make this little curve right here. That's gonna be a pain in the butt. And then punch these holes out, save as much weight as possible while keeping it as strong as possible. So that all being said, we're gonna take it over to that vise over there and get to cutting. All right, so now that piece has a nice little curved edge to it, we're gonna start it by punching these holes. And to do that, we're finally breaking out the old hydraulic punch driver, so that it basically you just drill a hole through here, put a little thing through here, squeeze it, do the thing, does the stuff, and then boom, you're done. That's exactly how it's done, so don't question that. The way this works is you find your center, basically it's right there at my point. You grab a hole saw that's smaller, and then you basically just drill it out. Then you carefully get this little piece out of there. Very easily, it's just so easy to get it out. Come on, get. And there you go. And now you got yourself a little coin. I don't know what you're gonna use it for, but there you go. I'm having to teach myself again, let me teach you. So this is how you do this. You basically just put this little piece in here. Now once that piece is all screwed in there, you grab this piece, put it on top, put your piece that you're working on right here, grab this little piece, spin it on. Might take a little bit. Now that piece is all lined up, you just grab your little handle right here and just get to cranking. Oh, I don't think this thing was rated for this thick of steel. Then after a couple pumps, it should just pop right through. And then boom, you got yourself a nice punch through hole. Then obviously you have to do that for the rest of them, but I'm gonna get on that and get going. You know, I'm so happy that I have a lot more time to just make better looking parts than I did on Pinky. But the only crappy part about this is we gotta still do the other side. All right, so we're gonna start a new segment here. Once a month, I'm gonna be unboxing something and reading the good and bad comments and reacting to them. This comment is gonna be a hate comment because I don't think we should end a video on hate. I think we should end a video on good people who say good things. So, the first one is, why mini cars so lame? And this is absolutely hilarious because I'm gonna put this all up. If you guys wanna read through it, it's funny. Some of my favorite creators that I absolutely love, they were going at it with this guy, and it was just basically, why not build mini things? They're kind of funny. And it's not meant to be like, oh my gosh, this guy's competing with $1 million builds. It's just supposed to be funny. I just think it's funny. So, but we got the biggest piece of the puzzle, the seat. This is literally what I've been waiting for like a week and a half to get here, and it finally came in, and I'm excited. All right, so now that that piece is done, we can get this piece safely and calmly out of the way. Hammer time! Next box, next comment. Now this one was kind of funny because it was kind of ironic. He said, dude, stop talking and stop stealing other people's build material. Now the first one I don't get because why would you not want me to talk while doing this? Because I'm kind of explaining everything I'm doing. But the second part was kind of ironic because it was kind of funny. I don't hate mud mowers or racing mowers. I absolutely love them. I'm probably the only person who loves absolutely every single motorsport known to man, but he builds mowers. I mean, he's telling me to stop stealing people's stuff when he builds mowers. The same thing that thousands of people have done. Now, I get it. Grindhard had Pinky before me, but that's like going up to somebody who has a jacked up, lifted Chevy Silverado or a trophy truck build and looking down on a guy who built a slammed burnout Chevy and going, dude, you stole my exact build, brother. It just made no sense, but I thought it was kind of funny. But I don't hate this guy, it's just kind of funny. If I can get the cap off, holy crap. Give it to me. How do you take these things? There you go. Look at this piece. They're really kind of stepping up the game on their quality of these little pieces right here. Now I know it's not no Casey Lights or, you know, Baja Designs, but these are actually pretty good looking, and I think they're gonna kind of look sick wherever I put these things. But on to our next comment. Steps up to the plate, he winds the pitch, and he smokes it. And no, the lights weren't in there, I just did it for effect. All right, so this next question, we're just gonna box all three of these just because I don't want this to be 10 minutes long, and I know you don't either. But he basically said, I remember when you had 2K subs, and I can't wait to see your channel grow. I really appreciate that. I mean, none of this would happen without you guys, literally none of it. So I'm thankful every single day. And I know it's not gonna be instantaneous when I can do this, you know, obviously as a full-time job, but I'm gonna work my absolute ass off to do it, and I'm gonna work my absolute butt off to get you guys better content. We got a bunch of cool stuff. Stay till the end because I got an announcement that's gonna take this channel to a whole new level. Like, just look at them. They're actually kind of clean looking. Obviously, you've already seen the road shock light, so there's no shock there. Haha, get it? It's kind of stupid. Last comment, last box, but not the last announcement. Now, this is coming from Candace at the team from Horsepower Rodeos. Amazing person. She was super nice while I was down there, and she invited me to the next Horsepower Rodeos event. I'm just gonna make sure Pinky does a little bit better. But on the last comment, remember me when you hit 1 million subscribers? I was here at 1K. I absolutely appreciate you, and you're gonna be able to remember yourself because you're gonna be in this video. If you're watching this, I really appreciate it. Now, onto this last box. We got this absolutely hilarious and funny Christmas card. And also, we finally got the Horsepower Rodeos banner. Now, this goes on absolutely every single one of the cars that competes in the event, but I really wanted one, and I asked her if I could get one, and she said, I'll think about it and I'll see, and it showed up. We got another little Horsepower Rodeo sticker. This one is gonna go on Pinky, I think eventually. Might be a little bit big, but also it'll only go on her when I feel it deserves to be a Horsepower Rodeos car. That was absolutely awesome. I already texted her saying thank you, I appreciate it. Now, on to the biggest announcement ever. I have been saving up forever to buy one of these things. Now, there are 2 things in any single event of these car guys who build stuff like this that turns their channel from just Joe Schmo to go. And I mean that in the best way possible. Now, I've finally saved up and bought a good pipe bender from the guys at Swag Off-Road. I've read good things about it, and that's literally gonna take my builds to like the next level. And the next thing that we're saving for, I almost have enough money. That's why I've been building this, because it saves as much money as possible. Pinky is not cheap, but an arc droid. Those are the 2 things that I bought. I bought dimple dies, I bought the Swag Off-Road bender, I bought a little shear that'll make my life a lot easier, and then I'm saving to buy an arc droid. But if you want to help me out on saving for that, I absolutely have. I've been eating ramen noodles, I've been saving up for it as much as possible. But if you want to help out, there's 2 ways. You go to speedfreaks1.com, that is my merch store. We got a bunch of cool stuff. And then there's also another way, the memberships program. Now, if you want to be a part of my videos, your name at the end of every single video will be credited as basically a membership. Your name's gonna be on there. It's gonna go down the list. So if you want to be the first set of people on there forever, every single video, you will be on there. There's Clayton, that is an absolute OG. He's gonna be top dog all the time. His name's gonna be big, and then everybody else's name's gonna be little because he was the first one to do it. I really appreciate you guys, and stay freaky.